Charlie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So for those tuning in, you are the co-founder of Adster, which is one of Australia's leading content agencies. You're working with some of the biggest brands in the country, a lot of which are at Future Fulfillment as well. So we get to collaborate on a lot of accounts, which is cool. And I'm very excited to talk content with you today and a little bit more about your journey as well.
Yeah, me too.
Sweet. So yeah, let's take it back to the beginning to kick things off. Were you always a videographer? Were you always in this kind of creative content space?
So no, actually, I think I've always been a very like social and outgoing person. So I always gravitated towards like sales and just marketing.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have any, I guess, experience in, cameras and editing and anything like that. It was predominantly sales. So I had a lot of jobs in sales after I finished school.
Okay. What was your first
I
sales
sold
job?
gas and electricity, and then I sold wine. And it actually taught me a lot of, really handy skills that I still use.
Was this over the phone, door to door?
Yeah, over the phone, cold calling, which is something like I feel like everyone needs to learn at some stage because
without a doubt. When I was around 18, I did cold door knocking for solar.
Really?
And that was same thing. I say this to people. I'm like, if you've got the chance when you're young to do something like that, whether it be cold calling or door knocking, you should.
Yeah, for sure.
What were the biggest skills you think that gave you?
I think definitely one, handling rejection.
Yeah.
That was like key. Like when someone didn't want something, two things, you were just okay with, the outcome, but then also being able to like handle that and being able to like kind of weasel your way back into play.
Yes.
When they don't want something from you.
100%. And equally, rejection it's a numbers game. You just know that after 9 no's, there's a yes.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, well, this is just volume.
Yeah, I know. And that one yes means more than those 9 no's as well. Like it just catapults you back up.
Yeah, exactly. When I was doing the door knocking, I was explaining this story the other night, but I used to rock up to a warehouse and they would have a minibus every morning and they would put like 15 of us on this bus and we'd get given a map. And we were going out to the burbs, like deep Melbourne, and they would highlight your block for the day. So they would just like the bus would pull up to the side of the street and then one person would jump off and then you just got to walk that block and just knocking on doors and just like no after no. But you get thick skin.
Oh, for sure.
Did you, when you were cold calling, because it was my introduction as well, without knowing it, to hooks. Yeah. So it's like when it comes to creative on social media, you have hooks, right? But what people don't realize is cold calling and door knocking, it's actually the same kind of human psychology.
Of course.
Did you have a go-to line to get people's attention?
I didn't. I was very case dependent. So you can see like their name and you can see like their age. So like I would mirror like them. So if it was, John from a specific suburb, if maybe it was like lower SES, I'd be a bit more like, how you going? Like all this, a bit more like up. And if it was like maybe an older woman, I'd be a bit more like soft spoken. Mm-hmm. Whereas like, if you're doing the opposite in that context, then it would just come off so poorly.
Totally.
So it was just about being able to understand who you're speaking to and speak like them or like have that kind of presence that makes them feel comfortable.
Yeah, this is such a cool intro to where we're going to go with this conversation, to paid advertising. Because like I said, it's the same principles. I used to just like really lean on that social proof angle with door knocking, cold, and I would always get the neighbor's name. So even if I got rejected before I left, I'd say, by the way, what's your name? Yeah. Let's say it's Jack. So then by the time I got to the neighbor, I'd be like, hey, I was actually just speaking to your neighbor, Jack. Do you know Jack?
Oh, nice.
And they'd be like, yes.
Nice.
Like, we're actually coming to see Jack and doing some work while we're there. Should we see you as well?
Nice.
And it played into that like white picket fence, keeping up with your neighbors.
That's great.
Yeah.
One thing I used to do as well, and I still do this on sales calls, where if you've been on hundreds of sales calls, you've probably been sold to as well on sales calls. And they're always like, oh, how's the weather today? Or like, where are you at? And it's like everyone's programmed to just like be like, oh, here we go again. Mm-hmm. I'll say something completely out of the ordinary to like throw them off a little bit. Like they'll be like, oh, how was your day? I'm like, oh yeah, like I just got Nando's. Like I got 2 pitters. Like have you had Nando's before? And then and they're like, oh, I love Nando's. And it's like, it builds off that. And then that easily builds way more rapport. And that gets the call going as opposed to just those la-di-da intros. Yeah,
absolutely. So it feels like you've naturally got this sales and marketing brain when it comes to connecting with people.
Yeah.
So you're doing the cold calling, and then where did you go from there?
So after that, That was basically the last job I did before we started Adster.
Oh, okay.
But I also studied at uni as well.
Yeah.
I did Bachelor of Sports Business. I loved conversing with people. I loved sport. So I was like, great, I can kind of put 2 and 2 together. Do you remember the movie Jerry Maguire?
Yeah.
I was kind of like, that was what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But then I soon realized that I wanted something a bit bigger for myself. And I also realized as well, I wanted to run my own show. I didn't want to, I guess, work under someone and take orders, not from like a stance of like arrogance, more just like I just preferred to be running my own show and doing my own things.
Yeah, I get you. Well, let's talk about that because it seems to be a common theme with all entrepreneurs. There's that pivotal moment for them that they realize, hey, I don't want to work for someone else's dream. I want to do something, for myself, 100%. And I want to build something that's bigger than myself. Yeah. So was there a light bulb moment? Was there a certain thing that happened or a person that walked into your life?
It was. So Anthony, my business partner, he is the most conscientious person I've ever met ever. Like if he is like watching something, like he'll watch 100 times and master it. Yeah. So cool. This was around I think 2021, 2022. And he'd been watching these videos from this guy called Serge Guattari. And he basically explained the idea of a creative agency. So working with D2C brands and making like TikTok and meta ads. And Anthony called me one day. He's like, bro, I've been watching this guy. Like he's saying, there's so much opportunity to build like agencies and to work with like D2C brands. We should do it. And he sent me through these videos. I watched them and we like instantly fell in love with the idea.
Wow. What specifically about running a content agency did you fall in love with the idea of?
Funnily enough, HiSmile, as like everyone, they were like the pioneer basically, not even just Australia based. Like I would go as far as saying like globally, like they literally took over and they showed how you can genuinely grow so quickly just from making ads. Like Kim Kardashian was using them. So that was one thing where we looked at and we were like, wow, like if we could do something like that for all these brands, would be providing so much value, but it'd be so fun to do as well. Yeah,
that's crazy. You're the second person that's brought that up on this podcast now, HiSmile, and I couldn't agree more. It was a huge inspiration for me as well at the time. And it's funny because the first time I got into making ad creatives was actually same thing, staring at HiSmile's ads library, going like, how are they doing this and trying to recreate them. And then I got my first taste of success literally from like following their principles and their model. Okay, cool. So you said this guy was Serge, was his name?
Yes, Serge Guattari.
So he was like teaching people the opportunity of content and working with e-commerce brands.
Him and a combination of Man Gadji as well. I think those were the two people that like really kickstarted and like lit this like fire from Anthony and myself. And once we saw those videos, we just wanted to go all in on it. Like we just saw so much opportunity. Like no one was really making creators. It was kind of coming into popularity. Obviously like 2017, 18 was like the gold rush. And then like this was like 2021, 2022. So it's still fairly new.
Still pumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where we started.
So did either of you have e-commerce backgrounds at this stage?
So Anthony ran a clothing brand very briefly. It did well, but I think it was around the time when COVID hit. And as you know, so many people's brands just went, belly up.
Yeah. And so also the other way around.
And the other way as well. Yes, correct. But that's kind of, I guess, where his passion came from. He's like, I've already done something like this before, so understood how it worked.
Right, so he understood brand, he understood product, the business model of e-commerce. Clearly you came from that angle of like psychology, sales, marketing, so together. So what was like the first big breakthrough with the agency? Like I know that you've worked with some like very, very big brands over the last 4 years. What was the first like success?
So it came about 1.5, 2 years in. So Anthony and I didn't get a client for the first like year and a half. And it was actually great. We loved it because Anthony and I were like stupidly delusional. We didn't really see 1.5 as like we're failing.
Wait, no clients for the first, as in so no work?
No work.
Wow.
No work.
Okay, a lot of people would give up.
Nah, we didn't because we were genuinely like delusional. We just knew we would get it done. And what we did within that time frame, we were like, we're just going to master the skills that are necessary to run an agency: research, copywriting, editing, everything and anything in between, basically. And that was our main focus for the year. It's like, look, if we can master all these skills, then, you know, as a byproduct, clients will just naturally come.
Yes.
Whereas like in theory, we could have gone back, looking at it now, we could have probably got a couple of clients here or there on low retainers, probably delivered subpar results. But like, I don't think that gave us what we needed at that time. It was more like, let's build for tomorrow.
Yes.
So
when you say you're honing in on your skills, were you creating ads for like what? How were you doing that?
So we just became addicted to learning. So Anthony and I, and probably this is the best piece of advice I could ever give anyone, is we paid people who were in the position we wanted to be in, or even further, and paid them for their time, and then just leveraged, you know, their insights into our business, our context, our situation. Yeah,
this is very, very valuable for those people listening. So talk to me about that, because I think people undervalue paying for other people's time that are where you want to be. So is that a good use of money, good use of time? When should you do it?
It was the best thing we ever did for our agency, hands down. Because they know, you know, they've been in the position you're wanting to be in, and they know how to get there. So we basically just went on every single call with these mentors of ours with, you know, the biggest open mind, full page, you know, pieces of paper, and just writing everything down, and after that talking it out and trying to apply it. So it was incredible. We had a lot of mentors along the way as well. But it just, speaking to these people and them having the answers is just the most important thing for, you know, you at that time.
Totally. So a year and a half later, you landed your first project.
Yes. So what we did is we got to the point now where we were very confident with our ability and our skill, and we reached out to brands offering to make content for free. So, you know, who's going to say no to that, right? A couple did actually, but you know, we just kept pursuing, and we reached out to so many brands, and we finally got an opportunity with Vitable. Do you remember Vitable?
I do.
So they're a really, really good business, by the way, really cool. And we made content for them, and our ads took over the account within one round.
Wow.
So that kind of put us in the business.
Amazing. That is so good. So talk to me about the agency. I'm sure the offerings maybe slightly changed over the years, but where it is today, what is your core offer, and how are you helping these e-commerce brands?
Yeah. So in a nutshell, we make money for brands, you know, with meta ads, but our offer it's a little bit different in most agencies' approaches. The way I like to think about it is we have like two sectors. So it's like a VOC and a VOB. So like voice of customer and voice of brand. So we have creatives, static images, and then on top of that, we offer internal support as well with creatives. So we're doing the external stuff with the UGC creators, and then we're also building statics as well. And then on top of that, we're coming into your team and basically like helping you guys with founder content and employee content, behind the scenes warehouse. So you're getting like, you know, so many touch points and different variety of content every single month.
So VOC and VOB, voice of customer, voice of brand. So the customer is more that native UGC, customer centric, TikTok inspired, Instagram inspired. And then the brand stuff is the evergreen, it's founder led, employee led, maybe more aesthetic.
It's just being able to get the customers to relate to the external people. So the customers and then the brand as well. So you're getting both perspectives.
Building a brand story as well. Do you think that in today's day and age, brands need both?
I definitely think so. I think if you're not leveraging founder content, then you're just leaving so much money on the table. And then as well as that, you do need the external content. So the voice of customer, because that's what UGC's foundations were. It was real customers giving real testimonials.
That's right.
So you need both.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm keen to work through your process when you start working with a brand. Obviously, a lot of the listeners here are e-commerce brands. So for them, it's like, let's say they've got a product, they're ready to go to market. You specialize in paid ads, right? Not doing any organic stuff?
No, we don't do any organic.
So purely paid. They've got a brand new ad account. It's like, okay, I need my first 8-10 creatives to get this thing going. And maybe we can run through a few different niches as well. But I'm assuming that first phase is really strategy, ideation, understanding avatars, understanding angles. So yeah, what is your approach to that first? Like, are you doing competitor analysis? Are you looking through forums and listening to what customers are saying? How do you get all of that inspo for how are we going to sell this product?
Well, it depends. So are they an established brand, or they're like new to market, they've got no customer reviews, or have they?
I mean, I think people fall into a multitude of buckets. Let's say they are running ads,
Yep.
but just not getting the results that they want.
Okay, cool. So first off, research is everything.
Yeah.
Customer reviews is everything.
Yeah. So where are they going for that?
So the best ads you've ever made are your customer reviews, and the best ads you will ever make is your customer reviews. So where you can go get your customer reviews, obviously, is, you know, the CSVs that you've got yourself internally, but then also TikTok, Instagram, Reddit, and Facebook ad comments. I think that is the biggest sleeper of like gold nuggets, where like these customers are actually commenting on these ads that they're seeing and being like,
are you talking about competitor ads? Or
I'm talking about their own ads.
their own ads.
Yep.
Okay. So looking at what people are saying on the ads that they're running.
Correct. Yeah,
if they don't necessarily have that yet.
Yeah. Oh, if they don't have that yet, then again, yeah, we'd be looking at competitors. But I actually don't focus on competitors as much as I guess you probably think I would. We focus a lot on the bigger brands in the e-commerce space in general.
Nice.
So many people like, oh, you got to copy the competitors, but then everyone's just making the same content. Where we're looking is at the biggest e-com heads in the space.
Yeah.
And looking at those ads and going, okay, they are doing this format and they're doing this type of creative. How can we look at that and repurpose that in the context of our brand and our client?
I really like that. Yeah. In my opinion, it's like there's two parts to that. One is putting the blinders on and just blocking out all the competition so you can be unique, cut your own path. And then the other part, taking inspiration from other industries, is typically the best way to find really original and very unique ads.
Yeah, agreed.
Because it's like, oh, I'm selling fashion, but I'm taking inspo from this electronics brand. And it's like, now I've got this whole new angle. I think as well, it's not even like you can be selling two different products but have the same type of customer. That's where you can also get some really good ideas because the customers are receptive to that style of content. Yes.
You know what I mean? So if you're selling something that helps with you know, inflammation in one sector, and then there's another that speaks to people with inflammation. You kind of, even though they're different niches or industries, you can still take it because those are the customers, the same customers that are buying. Yeah,
that makes sense. So I want to go back to a comment that you made before, which was your best ads are going to come from customer reviews, customer feedback comments. So is it like handling objections, listening to their problems and creating videos in response to those? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, of course. I think we have processes where we extrapolate like the key information from the customer reviews that gives us basically like everything we need to have like a top-down level of like, okay, these are the angles, these are the personas, the micro personas, and so on. So that's where we basically start is we'll go through the reviews manually. I make our team go through the reviews manually for 30 minutes because, as you know, with AI, everyone's trying to expedite their process so quickly that I don't even think people are really understanding the brand as well as what we're used to.
Yes.
So we do that first. So you've actually got like, I guess, your own taste of the brand and the customer.
Yes.
Then we go into our AI process.
Okay.
Where that extrapolates, you know, pain points, desires, purchase prompts, failed solutions, misconceptions, subconscious motives as well. That's a huge one that I think a lot of people don't focus on.
Okay, talk to me about that.
So
subconscious motives.
Subconscious motives. So 90 to 95%, I believe, it's one of those figures of every decision you make comes from your subconscious. So let's take a girl, right? She buys a pair of jeans. And you ask her, like, why'd you buy a pair of those jeans? And she's like, oh, I like them. It's like, okay, well, why did you like them? It's like, oh, well, you know, it goes well with my complexion, or it accentuates my hips. And it's like, oh, why do you want your hips accentuated? Why do you want your skin and your jeans to feel good together? Because I want to be noticed. Okay, so you want to be noticed by who? Oh, this guy I like. So it's getting deeper and deeper. And it's like people just stop at like, she wants the jeans because they look good. But it's like, it's going deeper than that.
absolutely.
And that's what actually trigger people to purchase.
Yeah, I love it. There's a very good book called This Is Marketing. I'm not sure if you've read it.
I know.
Seth Godin. No.
Oh, I know who. Yeah.
Is it Seth Godin?
Yeah, the bald head guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And he, there's an analogy about the drill bit in that book that's very similar. Why are you buying the drill bit? To put the hole in the wall. Why are you putting the hole in the wall? To hang up the picture frame of my family. Why are you doing that? So that when your partner walks in, they go, look at what you've done.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I mean, people want to be, they want to be happy.
Yeah.
And what else do you think people want at the end of the day, no matter what you're selling?
I think people just want to feel like, they want to feel relieved. They want to feel safe. They want to feel satisfied, happy. They want to feel good within themselves. Mm-hmm. So it's like your job as a strategist to build ads that focus on that. You don't sell the product, you sell like the desired outcome.
Yeah, that's so fascinating. Can we go through a few different niches?
Yep.
So let's say it's like a baby product, for example.
Yep.
How would you kind of pull back the layers and figure out what these mums actually want?
Yeah. So again, like what they want is their time back.
Mm-hmm.
As a busy mum, it's chaotic.
Yep.
You want your time back. Obviously, again, it depends on what type of baby product.
Of course.
There's heaps, but they want a calmer home, happier, healthier baby. And they want their time back as well.
Yeah, that's great. So you could really lean into that time angle, the safety angle, happy, healthy baby.
Yeah.
And then if we're doing maybe health or beauty products.
Yep. With health, it's feeling good.
Yep.
It's so many people suffer from, everything. It's inflammation. It's sore muscles. They're tired as soon as they wake up. Headaches, cramps, everything like that. So it's about speaking to them and educating them on like this supplement that I'm selling actually helps with X problem.
Yes.
And, reaffirming it with like studies and authoritative figures and things of that nature.
Yeah, very good. I think this is really valuable for people because you can get so caught up on selling the product.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's not the case.
Yeah.
You're selling the benefit and what life looks like after the fact.
We do a lot of like top of funnel cold audience stuff, cold audience. So that is predominantly like education. So, most people be like, this is X product, this is why you should buy it. We hit more on the pain point.
Yes.
So people don't care about your product if they've never seen you before. They care about their back sore or they don't have enough time. That's what they care about. So you use that as like the focus of the ad. And then later down the line, that's when you subtly incorporate your product into it.
Got you. Yeah. So it's very much so problem, agitate.
Yeah.
And you're introducing the solution as well, top of funnel?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay. So this is all so great. And that's that ideation strategy piece. So as soon as you figure out, okay, these are our target avatars. This is how we're going to sell the product. This is the problem that we're solving.
Yeah.
This is the benefit that we're selling, where people are going to go. What's the next process? I'm assuming you're going to start briefing these ideas out and figuring out our customers and UGC creators going to create this. Is it more of a founder employee thing? What does that briefing process look like to turn these ideas into reality?
So what we do is we conduct our research, and then I think a lot of agencies don't really like communicate with their brands enough. We really like to think of ourselves as like we come embedded in your team.
Yeah.
So what we do is we give them this thing called a creative roadmap, and it's essentially our high level ideas of our concepts, and that consists of like the theme, the angle, the framework, the persona, so that these clients that we're working with, number one, feel like they're involved in the process, which is what they want.
Yep.
But then also it's giving them a really clear idea of, hey, like we've done, research and we know exactly what's going to work and this is what we're thinking.
Nice.
So we do that. That gets approved.
So it's very much so collaboration.
It's very collaborative. There's multiple phases of our 30-day cadence with our clients, and we're always getting approvals from them, whether it's, the creative roadmap, the script writing, creative selection, and then the frame links at the end, and then finally approval. So they're very, we work very closely with them. We're chatting to them every day and keeping them up to date, sending Monday, Wednesday, Friday reports as well.
Yeah, excellent. And when it comes to working with creators, because, so many brands are sourcing their own creators, I'm sure you've got a network that you've built, but for a brand that needs to ramp up their content output and they're hoping to find the right people to make that content, where would you say, where are they living? Where's the best place to find creators?
It's a really scrappy, I guess, part of the business. They're everywhere. They're on all these platforms like Backstage, Star Now. You get a lot of them on TikTok, Instagram, and so on. I think where we get some of our creators as well is, as I said, we work very collaborative with the brands, and we will ask if we can reach out to their customers.
Amazing.
So we're actually getting their customers to make ads with us.
Genius. That's so great. So talk me through that process. How do you do it? Is it like a post-purchase email?
Yeah.
How are you incentivizing it? Are they getting paid?
So we pay them.
Yep.
We pay them. What we'll do is like, we'll go to our clients and be like, hey, who's buying, this product? Who's bought it so many times? Who's bought it 5 times? Or who buys it every month on subscription? And then we'll obviously, we'll coordinate with the brand, and they'll reach out first, get the okay, and then they kind of introduce us.
Yeah.
And then we kind of take it from there.
Got you. And it's a fine balance when you work with these creators or customers around, you can go too hard with scripting, and then you end up with this kind of like, okay, yeah, it looks like the storyboard, but does it convert? Does it feel real?
Yeah.
And then you can go the other way where you give them full reign, but then you might not end up with something that actually converts, because like an organic piece of content is quite different to a paid piece of content, even though the lines are blurring and they're getting more and more similar. So how do you go about getting the best out of these people? Are you prompting them? Are you giving them scripts? Are you showing them content? Like how do you get the best?
So what we do is our storyboards are very, I'd say, concise, but very informative as well. So, in the overview, we'll have what the goal of the ad is, what they're basically required to do. Then we have like the tonality, the vibe, the pacing. And then we have like little other instructions, whether it's...
So you're very detailed.
We're very meticulous. And we've had creators being like, I can't believe, how in depth you go with, your systems and your processes. And that's one thing like we're really happy with is that I think we make the creator's life as easy as possible.
Right.
Which is really good. And I think that reflects in the content that they give back. And then when we go onto the storyboard, we've got like the specific shot type, the action, and how to do it. Whether it's like, we'll be like, I want you to film in comfy clothes on a relaxed position on the couch at nighttime to build that authentic touch. Like so many people are sitting like this with a tripod, perfect lighting. And it's like no customer would ever do that. Yeah. They would never go to the trouble to get the perfect lighting on the perfect day. It's more like after a long day of work, they're grabbing their phone, they're filming like this. They're like, okay, I need to tell you about something crazy. So that's kind of how we operate. Right.
Are the creators editing as well, or is it coming back the raw footage and you're taking control?
We get raw footage, and then we've got an editing team in house that edits all the content. And we have like a style of how we like to edit. Okay. Our editors are very, very competent in that regard. They know exactly what we want and how we do it. But I think the storyboards are structured so, I guess like it's in such an organized manner that it makes it so easy for the editors. They're kind of just like plugging and playing with, we've got like body numbers and clip numbers. So we get the creators to upload it in the clip number. So the editors are just coming in and just going bang, bang, bang.
Wow, it's good. You've really systematized this. Yeah. So once it's gone through that editing phase, are you pushing out multiple variations of the same creator?
So we do a minimum of 3 hook variations per concept. Yeah. But we always go above and beyond, whether it's even just our scope as well. If where they're paying us for X concepts, we always over deliver because that it just means a lot to them, but it also allows us to get insights faster as well. So it is a win-win.
Totally.
But we do minimum of 3 hook variations, but then once we see an ad go live and shows really strong results, we'll just be like on it instantly and start to make some iterations.
Amazing. So I want to talk about that whole feedback loop from getting the data and then how that informs the next round. Yeah. But before we do that, going back to the editing side, I want to talk about some content formats that you're just seeing crushing right now. I know in the ad accounts that I'm currently in, there's certain formats that just are working so well, but it's always changing.
Yeah, of course.
So talk to me about like what's hot right now. What are the 3 or 4 formats that just are crushing it for people?
I think there's more than 4. But,
okay, great. We've got time.
There's I think the newest one and the one that's I would say like the hottest, so to speak, would be JPEG creatives. So what that consists of is they're showing like ugly JPEG images off Google to visualize their problem. So it's like if you've got yellow teeth and it's like a JPEG comes up of yellow teeth, or it's like your back sore and then there's a guy like going like this. It's like very ugly. And it's very I think that's the best word to encapsulate it. It's super ugly and people can visualize it.
Yes.
So that's one thing that works really well.
Okay. And now are you pairing that with long form copy? Or what kind of
Depends.
copy headlines are you?
Depends. So like it could be a short ad or a long ad, but it's just continuously throughout. It's like citing studies and it just comes up like right there and they're pointing at it like this. And then it's like, if you suffer from this, and it's like someone tired, someone aching, and
Wow.
you're just visualizing that problem, and it looks so ugly that it's nice and it's refreshing, because nowadays there's so much high prod and there's so much AI content. So kind of brings people back down.
Wow. That's really, really interesting. Okay. So these JPEGs, kind of ugly ads, and they're just like really obviously painting the problem that you're solving or what the product is.
Yeah, just visualizing it.
Okay. And what else?
Podcasts, obviously, they are just like, they stand the test of time.
For e-commerce.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as I said earlier, we do a lot of top of funnel, so education, authoritative pieces. So that's, getting people who look respected, they're wearing scrubs or they're wearing a suit or something like that, and they're basically like on a podcast and things like that. Podcasts work very well in kind of any context. It can be a friend, two friends, it can be a skeptic and an authoritative figure, it can just be an authoritative figure. But I think podcasts just work, and they continue to work because they just ooze this level of, I guess, authority that you just can't replicate. If you're in a podcast, you seem important instantly. So people somewhat want to listen to what you have to say.
Totally. Can you give me an example of a podcast ad that crushed for you in terms of like, what was the hook? What was the conversation? What was the product? Because I'm assuming it doesn't always work for every e-com brand. Like maybe for a fashion brand, a podcast might be a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't work for every
But
brand.
then I can see how for like a supplement or a health product where it's like, hey, Dr. So-and-so is explaining this new method of solving X, Y, or Z. But yeah, can you give me an example?
Sure. It's like another little, I guess, segue into that as well is like contrarian hooks, which we can touch on later. But that's basically like saying something, really outlandish, and then kind of like using that as the hook and the clickbait to then go into the ad.
Yeah.
But it's usually like authoritative figures making really bold claims, like, if you're over the age of 50 and you're doing this could be eating away at your remaining years.
Yes.
And it's just instantly like building that, like, whoa, like I need to listen. But then also caveat to that is that sometimes the organic hooks where it's not forced and it seems like they've just finished a sentence previously and then they continue speaking.
Conversational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be like, if I was doing it right now, I'd be like, okay, cool. So I want to like talk about something that I've been thinking about recently. So it's like even that's not really piercing, but it's authentic.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. What else? You said there was a ton of formats.
There's a
We've
ton.
got the ugly ads, the JPEG images.
Yeah. So
we've got the podcasts.
Yeah. The ugly ad in its own right as well was like the POV, no captions, super real, super unpolished, where it's like you've just got your phone and like if it was that coaster, you're just filming the coaster, grabbing it. There's no A-roll, B-roll, top down. There's no perfect lighting. It's simply a customer just like genuinely wanting to just tell as many people about it as possible. Like they're not like, oh, I'm going to talk about this. They just click record and go.
Yep. So good.
There's also car testimonials, which are super authentic as well.
Car testimonials. Tell me about them.
Well, they're just in the car. I mean, if you look on TikTok, the amount of people that rant about, the sandwich they didn't like, or the guy who they've wanted to go up to in the gym for ages, or something they just found out, and they're always in their car. And it's just, again, coming back to that like authentic touch where people are in the car all the time posting on TikTok. So it's about like finding what works on organic and putting a paid spin on it.
Yes. Yep. Nice. Let's talk about that because I made that comment before that the organic and paid, the type of content that you use for both, it's starting to become, I know a few years ago when it came to paid, it was always just that strong hook, problem solution, hard CTA, some kind of sale.
Yeah.
Whereas now some of the best ads on my ad account are literally like 6-second clips with some copy.
The text wall.
Yep. And just like some trending music behind it. And it's just like crushing, you know what I mean? No CTA, maybe no problem solution, just like very much so like benefits driven, or just some piece of info that people find valuable. So I want to talk about that. What's the difference? And are you, when your clients also have organic channels, is that informing anything with your paid strategy? Does content double up? Or like the car thing, you said it's an organic trending piece of content. What are you changing?
So It's more so just the setting and the context.
Yep.
So what we do is like, for example, podcasts all over organic feed, right? So you kind of take just the setting and the vibe itself, but then do your own paid version of it.
Right.
So it's the same with the car, right? Where it's like everyone's in their car just ranting. And the way that we make ads is they don't look like ads. So we do it to blend into the organic feed.
Yes.
So, we'll be ranting for the first 30 seconds. And then at the end, it's like, oh, yes, I've been using this product. And it's da-da-da-da-da. So it goes like that where we're basically copying the organic feed, but then towards the back end of the script, that's when we start to go hard on the paid.
Yeah, got you. What I'm really getting at here is that we've gone from, really kind of lo-fi images to car podcasts to, which is more of a lo-fi kind of talking to camera, to like high prod like this, like a podcast.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is you're saying that these formats are all wildly different. So you're testing clearly a bunch of different formats. And with the Andromeda update, it's like Facebook wants this.
Oh, yeah.
People need to get onto this. So it's like static ads. Like, are you doing carousels? What else are you doing? Videos? Are you doing long form videos?
So yeah, we do VSLs. And again, it's very case dependent. Yeah. So like it really doesn't work for everyone. And that's one thing I guess you start to develop over time is like, will this content resonate? If you're targeting 50-year-old women, maybe like the more Gen Z type content won't resonate. So it's things of that nature. That's what you kind of got to factor in. It's like, yes, this is a great idea, but like, does it actually resonate with the specific audience? Totally.
Yeah. So people are often caught up on brand, especially when they're like coming from that organic space, being their primary channel. And if they get into paid or they haven't done it before, they're like, well, it needs to align with my brand. It needs to all be perfect. And brand and ROAS are two very separate things. They don't always go hand in hand. You're talking about a ton of different formats. So what would be your message to that person that's very, very focused on brand? Their website's beautiful. It's extremely aesthetic and it could be converting really well. That's great. But what's the mindset shift they need to take when jumping into paid advertising and they really want to get that next level of scale?
I think, great question. I think that you definitely need to find a happy medium with some brands. Some brands are very on brand, do not deviate from this. And other brands are like, look, if you can make an ad that pops, then like we'll do it. Our kind of perspective is like, look, you've brought us on to help you acquire new customers and there's a way to do it. You can still sprinkle in and have that vibe and that aesthetic that you typically go for, but performance creative, you need to get people buying the product. So you do need to, I guess, somewhat like push the branding aside in some aspects, because ultimately at the end of the day, like what's more important? Is it having a branded company with these aesthetic visuals and creatives and you've got no money coming in, or, you've got this ugly, realistic, authentic, creative strategy that you're implementing and, you're scaling from here to here.
Yeah, got you. So what you're basically saying in a nutshell is, I mean, those brands that you mentioned before, some aren't for it. They want to keep things on brand. How do you work that into it?
I guess you do the best you can. There's always times where if, again, like I said, we do go above our scope quite frequently with our clients. So, we try and meet at that happy medium, but then we might give them, an extra concept or two, an extra static, in our way and just be like, hey,
test
look, this is for free, just run it, see how it goes. More often times than not, it does work really well. And then that kind of builds that, that foundation of, hey, like maybe we shift towards this a little bit more. And then, once you see the money coming in, the customers, it's hard to ignore.
So that changes their mind usually as soon as they see the money. Yeah. So this leads me to my final kind of part, which is the data. So, and that's why I love this space so much, paid advertising, because creative and creativity can be so subjective. Paid advertising is not. It's like, it's very trackable. It's very, you can see it right in front of you. So what part does the data play in that whole feedback loop for you for, month one, you're testing everything, month two, month three, like how does the data start informing what move you take next when it comes to scaling an ad account?
Everyone's got a different, I guess, take on an ad account and like what you should do. My biggest take is spend. So if I look at an ad that's spending a lot, that says to me that there's something in there that's working. That and CTR. So if people are clicking through, it seems like the angle's working. People are watching the entire ad. So whatever your speaking about, whatever angle or persona you're targeting, people are resonating with it. But maybe you need to just go back to the drawing board and, do something a little bit different. But I feel like there's enough proof in spend and CTR to go, this is what people want. So we need to make this in 15 different ways.
Yes. Very interesting. So do you have a framework for ad buyers to use when they're launching your creatives, or is it simply at the discretion of the client?
Yeah, we do strictly creative, so we don't do any media buying.
Yeah.
But Anthony, myself, we're actually in the ad account ourselves, so we can kind of navigate our way around. We get reports from some clients, we don't from others, but we still kind of take
If you're in the account, you know how to read it. That's the instant feedback loop. Okay, so Facebook's going to prioritize a creative out of the gate. That might not be the creative with the highest ROAS either. It's just where the spend flows. So that's the first thing you're looking at. And then CTR is basically, arguably on you, like making the creative. Whereas ROAS, it's your part of it, but you can't fix a landing page.
Can't fix an offer.
Yeah, can't fix an offer, can't fix a product, can't fix the market. So that makes sense. For a brand owner, I like the idea of looking at spend and CTR. When do you look at ROAS? When does that make sense?
I personally don't think ROAS is an important metric. I think too many brands are married to the idea of having a good ROAS. But I don't think a good ROAS is impressive. I mean, which one would you rather take? Would you rather take $10,000 spent and a 5 ROAS, or $100,000 spent and a 1.5 ROAS? So I think a lot of brands are very scared to hit around the 1.25, 1.5 ROAS mark. But I just think if you've got an ad that's got like a 3 ROAS, like I'd be pumping more spend behind that because you've clearly gotten a return. So let's see, if it's got teeth.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. So when you get into that territory of like 1.2, 1.5 ROAS, for a lot of e-commerce brands, that might not be profitable. If it's not, are you saying that they're betting on lifetime value and people coming back and buying again and potentially breaking even on running at a loss on that first sale?
Of course. I think as well, I don't think you should necessarily, I know you're a big advocate of this, is not turning ads off. I think like an ad that's spent $100,000 and it's got maybe a 0.89 ROAS. Yes, on paper that looks bad, but that's actually bringing new people into the funnel, which will later then be converted in your middle and bottom of funnel style ads.
Yes, this is so true, 100%. And I had this conversation with another ad buyer recently, and we were talking about why it's important to look at frequency for this. Because often you have these ads, like you're saying, that have had heaps of spend. The frequency is quite high. People have seen it again and again and again. Maybe it's not profitable, but it is so important for the funnel. And like you turn that off and then all these other ads just crash straight away that were just picking up everyone.
Exactly. People don't see that. They go, oh, this is at a 0.89 ROAS, but it's like, but those purchases you got from, these ads
all came from that was their first touch point.
Exactly right.
Okay, this is sometimes a little bit hard for people to see that don't already know. So I guess for you, when it comes to thinking about the funnel and what are those top of funnel creatives that are really might not be the most profitable, but they're like casting the widest net and getting the most people in, versus something bottom of funnel that's literally just like picking up all of the people that didn't buy the first time. Are you making creatives very specifically for those parts of the funnel? Yeah,
of course. It definitely, it depends. Top of funnels, very different approach to bottom. Bottom's offer-led, misconceptions, things like that. And what works really well, and this is why we work with founders as well, is we kind of focus on top and then we get the founders to do middle and bottom. So it's coming from all these different touch points.
Cool.
So we're kind of getting them in the funnel and then, we're making sales, but then the ones that we don't, they kind of get handed down to the founders and then they're doing, those little offer leads or those misconceptions and answering those. And it's very like shorter and snappier as opposed to tops, a bit long-winded.
Yeah. Are you ever surprised with content though working? Maybe you've made something for bottom of funnel and it ends up just being this cracker for top of funnel. Because my approach more recently now is just really letting Facebook dictate where these creatives go. Like I don't separate. I don't have a funnel inside Facebook. I literally let frequency show me the funnel and that paints the picture in my mind. But I'm pushing out content and I'm like, you know what? You choose. Like,
Yeah,
is it bottom of funnel? Is it top of funnel? You choose Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that also kind of, what are your thoughts on that?
I think there's certain ad formats and ad styles that dictate parts of the funnel.
Yes.
So, you know, doing an educational piece isn't bottom because they're already there. They just need that little push off the edge. Whereas someone who doesn't even know who you are, someone doesn't even know your product, but they have that pain point that we discussed earlier, they're going to listen to something that's educational based.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. This has been so valuable. I feel like we could just keep talking for hours here. But if brands want to learn more about how they can work with Adster and what you're doing, where should they go? Adster.co, and then my email is just charlie@adster.co. Nice. And if they want to follow along on your journey as well, where should they go? My Instagram. It's on private, I think. Oh, true. I should have asked you. Yeah. We need to change that. Yeah. Are you okay? He's private. Yeah. No one's following. So what? No, yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to sit with me. I really enjoyed the conversation. Thanks for having me, Noah. That was great. Of course. Till next time.